whole fucking thing. Man, I've never had my phone freak out so bad trying to go live before. Until now. Hey everyone, today we're live talking some bullshit about the Kentucky Republican Party because, you know, we love the Kentucky Republican Party. They have so much smart info. I'm going to be cutting this live segment up into a video, so this is why I'm going live anyways. So I've had to restart this like 13 billion times, making sure it works, so. But we are going to get the video we wanted here. Hopefully we can get it all set up again, because phone freak out and YouTube is different now. And my wife apparently has her history turned off, because why not? I have to fucking find this shit. Or re-find the whole... the full debate, son. They're hiding it. They're hiding it. Who's... Oh, here it is. Only 4K people watched it. That's kind of weird.
Get on Depop and save on your favorite brands. Find great deals on different...
I think I could have dual camera, honestly, and put it on the TV is what I'm honestly going to do. Yeah, I'll put it on dual camera and I'll put it on TV so the peoples can see the idiocy. Maybe if it has dual camera. Nope, no dual camera. What? I thought we had dual camera. I guess that's like a Streamlabs thing. Why am I green screened in the background? That's crazy. Hold on. That's actually kind of funny. I could do this. I could do this. That's perfect. Or this one right here. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm doing that one right there. That one's perfect. I like that. So today we're watching the three stooges you've seen on my thumbnail, or you've seen the Republican primaries coming up in my state. And vote Charles Booker, obviously. Do not vote any of these pedophile protectors. I know Democrats are on some wild shit too, but at this point, I'd rather have Uncle Joey back. A lot of Republicans have been saying that. Give me back Uncle Joey. All right. I thought giving $3 billion to Israel was a bad thing. Now we're in war with Israel. It's like we're going downhill. So today we're going to be talking about these nincompoops, and hopefully we can learn a thing or two. You know what I mean. It don't really matter too much. I hope you do. I hope you do. I hope you. I see. I think a lot of people don't like Trump anymore, and it's crazy. It's crazy to me to think that you know, we could flip a KY seat, a Kentucky seat could be flipped if anyone in this stream lives in Kentucky, and if you live in Texas, if you live anywhere in America, or even if you live in a different country that has like a liberal side, just vote for liberal, man. Peace on your stream. Thank you guys. So if you want to watch this, I was gonna dual camera it, but it's not gonna happen, and I honestly don't want to get my stream taken down because I don't know if it will. But you will hear this, and I honestly will show it to you no matter what. That this is it's the Three Stooges. It's live. I could put this in my chat if y'all want to see this, but either way, it is terrible. So let's get into this malarkey.
By a 30-second rebuttal.
And proud grandson of two
World War II veterans and a
I love
blessed
this dude.
husband and
I
father.
love the people actually. What's crazy is a few months ago when I was streaming this type of political content, it was actually reverse. I was getting so much hate. You can have my wife here. They were telling me to go back to my country. They were telling me these were just, I don't know if they were bots, but there would be every now and then a good person. The hate for Trump has gone up, and it is showing on my stream because I've never seen this much Trump hate before. It's usually a lot of like Trump love and stuff, and I'll get hated on. And, like, I have a lot of streams that I've unlisted because it was just so much hate onto me. But this there must be a lot of hate for this man, this orange man. Y'all don't want to go to war for Israel.
Of 4 beautiful children, and I
Andy
love
Barr speaking.
Kentucky. At the outset, I want to
me turn this
express
off.
my sincere condolences to the families of 2 fallen Kentucky heroes, Sergeants Pennington and Pruitt.
R.I.P. them.
who
I
gave
like.
the ultimate
They shouldn't be out
sacrifice
there
in the service of
anyways.
our
But
country
R.I.P. to them.
in
R.I.P. to
Operation
them.
Epic Fury. I'm running for the Senate because I still believe that the American dream is worth fighting for, and Kentucky deserves someone with a proven track record of delivering results for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Now, this is very...
We'll stop it right there. What track records? There's no. I mean, I even know collective Republicans hated his governor to run. You know what I mean? That's why I'm pretty sure Andy won. Andy Beshear won when he was going against Daniel Cameron because the Republican Party is like really bad over, like, the bills they're trying to pass over here is crazy. None of that shit. I'm pretty sure it matters, dude, because like, if I gotta go to war for Israel, I think it matters, man. Like, what the fuck? Nah, you should just go to war for Israel, dude, and just accept it and bend over for
I'm
Trump.
the only candidate on this stage who is actually working with President Trump right now to deliver on this America First agenda.
And that's another thing. All of these three, they're all wanting to just bend over for Trump. They just want their booty bent over, wide open for Trump because that's all they want. They just want that Trump endorsement. But I really feel like we could. I'm not going to war. I hope not. Probably not, because I'll just go AWOL anyways. I know I'm not going to war because I'd say it now. I'm just going to go AWOL. I know I'm not going to go to war. Actually, you're right. You're right. You know, you're right.
Together, we have passed historic tax cuts. We have secured the border after 4 years of a nightmare of open border policies from Joe Biden. We are rolling back regulations
still talking about
to lower
Joe
the
Biden.
cost of living, to unleash American energy dominance and unleash our capital markets. We're restoring common sense to Washington, D.C. by standing up to the radical left and stopping the indoctrination.
What proof? Donald Trump literally said the draft is on the table. Why like, what are you talking about? What are you talking? If he wanted to, could open the draft up whenever he wants. And he's been saying it. The draft's on the table. The draft's on the table. I know he's just saying it probably to scare people. The draft's on the table, guys. You know, we got to beat these Iranians because they have nuclear. Trump is making you paranoid, bro. Nah, I just think Trump is making a lot of people paranoid. I think I'm not the only one. So, see, this is what I would get usually on my old streams, is like brain dead people like this that think, that's what this dude thinks. Like, that's how his whole brain is functioning right now. If you think that politics don't matter at this point and it's just bullshit, you actually have to care. Vote.
Children with DEI propaganda and
I don't know.
stopping the defunding.
Almost all three of them. I don't know about Nate Morris. He hasn't said anything about DEI, but a lot, like Daniel Cameron and fucking Andy Barr are both against DEI. And I could sit right here and tell you what DEI benefits people for. It benefits people with disabilities. It benefits people so you can get a job. And even though they still put like black people names and Mexican names to the side, it still benefits people, helps people get those jobs. There's a lot more DEI does, but they just want to get rid of that because it is indoctrination evil. I don't know. It's bullshit. It's because the liberals want it.
the police, but there's more work to do. There's more work to be done. And so this is a golden opportunity, an opportunity with President Trump in the White House to finish the job, to save America, to stop socialism, to unleash the American dream through limited government, free enterprise, and a strong national defense. I am blessed in this campaign for U.S. Senate to be endorsed by major leaders like Congressman Hal Rogers and Riley Gaines and Senator Mark-Wayne Mullen, who is the president's
Sure, buddy.
Homeland Security nominee, because they know I have stood shoulder to shoulder with this president in Congress, and I'll do so exactly that in the United States Senate.
That's not the whole point of this
Got a
stream.
pile of
So
clothes
you
you never
focus on
wear
that.
anymore?
You focus on that little. You focus on that one thing, but that's not really even the focus of this
Thank you,
stream.
Mr. Barr.
The focus of this
Mr.
stream is
Cameron,
Kentucky
opening
Senate
remarks
races.
from you. My name is Daniel Cameron, and I'm running for the United States Senate because Mackenzie and I care deeply about what the future looks like for our three boys, Theodore, Bennett, and Harrison. We want to ensure that this country lives up to the ideals of its founding, a country that is based on merit and opportunity and is not riven by the divisions that occur with DEI or diversity, equity, and inclusion. I tell
See?
people all the time that
I could pull up the list of what DEI literally helps and it benefits people. Like it's supposed to benefit farmers too. It benefits a bunch of people. It just doesn't benefit the lower class. It will benefit the middle class. It benefits everyone in Kentucky, and they just want to get rid of it. I mean, even when I remember when Andy Barr posted a commercial, or like, well, yeah, it was a commercial about him getting rid of DEI on Facebook, and everyone was shitting on him because DEI does a lot for the Kentucky people. This makes no sense. I don't understand why they're trying to get rid of DEI that really doesn't do nothing. If anything, that helps people, especially like veterans, disabled, many people in general. I don't understand what this whole DEI get rid of. I really don't. I guess it's just to make businesses like fire people easier too at the same time, because at the same time a business can fire you if you get hurt, pregnant, anything like that, and anything under the rug. I mean, Kentucky is a at will state. They can fire you for fucking anything. You breathe too loud, they can fire you after that. But at this point, it's gonna make it worse. I mean, you're not gonna have any like benefits and anything to help you. I mean, I might as well get the fucking list right now. You know what? What the fuck? I have to go on Facebook to find this damn list. Damn, I'm not going on Facebook right now. That's a cesspool. But yeah, DEI does a lot. Honestly, I could fucking ask AI what DEI does. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Let's go to Copilot. Let's go to Copilot, guys. Let's ask AI. What does DEI do? I don't really need that because off the top of my head, I basically said everything that it does. It just helps the... Fostering diversity includes environment and higher educational aims so students, regardless of their background, can have quality education. Opportunities for success. DEI programs are designed to promote fairness, equality, and inclusion, which are essential for creating a supportive and productive learning environment. These initiatives are supported by a collection of faculty, staff, student, and community members who advocate protection and so this is also a school thing too, so it helps with kids and wow. And they want to get rid of that. That's your Republican Party.
It also helps with stuff such as race, gender,
There it is.
religion,
Race, gender, religion,
disability,
disability,
and sexual orientation.
and sexual orientation. That's what I thought it was. Which a lot of Republicans don't care about because, you know, that's liberals. If you're gay, if you're queer, you're weird.
That shouldn't keep them from caring if you have a job or not.
That's what I'm saying. DEI shouldn't... That's what DEI protects. If you're gay or if you're a Christian and you believe in a different fucking thing, they won't let you in because of your religion. There's just a bunch of reasons why DEI helps people out. It helps Christians out. It helps everyone out. It doesn't just help gay people out. You know what I mean? It doesn't just help... Like, I don't get the whole get rid of DEI.
It even helps with age discrimination.
Yeah, age discrimination. Like, if you're older and you want to go work at Walmart, like you want to be a door greeter or you want to go do something, and they're like, nah, you're too old. We can't do that. or like if you have it, I actually know someone I work with who has a disability. He's in a wheelchair, and if they got rid of DEI, he wouldn't have that job. And he's in a wheelchair out there working. Like, you got to make this make sense. You can't make this make sense. They want to get rid of the fucking thing that makes people work too at the same time. So,
built on DEI. We need a country that is built on MEI, merit, excellence, and intelligence. The United States Senate is designed.
That is one of the most ignorant things he could have done.
yeah, that's the dumbest thing you could say. Like, we need some. Do you know how many? We're in Kentucky, dude. All right. We're not known for our excellence, okay? We're known for our bourbon and for our horse racing, okay? So I have no idea what he's promoting here.
To create conditions in Washington that make people and the ability to have to thrive at home. That is what I'm focused on over the next several months as we run through this campaign. That's why we need to pass the SAVE Act, because
passing the SAVE Act, the Jim Crow 2.0. Yes. The SAVE Act. That'll save America, guys. If you pass the Jim Crow 2.0, so you could prevent millions of women who are married to vote, not just people who are homeless, people who can't afford the documents to present, or people who don't have their birth certificate, people who don't have their social security, because yes, there are people who live in America that just memorize their social. That's what people do. No one can afford their passport, and apparently a real ID doesn't even care. Like, you show an ICE officer a real ID, that don't even matter anymore. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things you can come up to, but I think this is the least of your worries. I think the context of the title also gives it away. The SAVE Act ensures that there's integrity within our election systems. We need to keep taxes low because we need to put more money in your pocket. We've got to make sure that Kentucky punches above its weight when it comes. Trump's for it. I'm not even gonna rag on you. I'm not even gonna rag on you. Meaning that we can feel the technologies of the future. We have to look out for our farmers. Get prescription drug costs down, because if we get prescription drug costs down, it'll lower healthcare costs. And we have to ensure that we return to law and order in this country and preserve. What? Like, what the fuck was that? Law enforcement community's right to do their operations without being impeded upon. You know my track record. I stood as your attorney general, standing firmly for our constitutional rights when we had a governor that tried to shut down our state. I brought in nearly $900 million to... That's your answer. There's your answer right there if I like Trump. State to fight the opioid and drug epidemic. And even when people were protesting on my front lawn, I did what was right and did it courageously to stand firm for our law enforcement community. That is my track record, and I'd be honored to have your support and help, and that is the backbone that we need in the United States Senate, and I'd be grateful for your help. These are just...
Thank you. Mr. Morris, your opening remarks, please.
Well, good evening. I'd first like to thank the Jefferson County Republican Party for bringing us here together tonight. I'm Nate Morris, and I'm so proud to be a ninth...
What has he done to keep America great? What has Trump done to keep America great but put us back in a war? He's awesome. Dude, Trump's the best. Trump put us back into a war. He raised gas prices. He lied about everything he said that he was going to do. Didn't release the Epstein files. Trump's the best. Trump gave 3.3 trillion tax break to billionaires. Dude, Trump's awesome. I love Trump. You know what? No, he didn't. He just didn't do that. He just didn't do anything I just said. He just didn't do it. That's your rebuttal. All right. That's what I go up against.
Kentuckian. I'm proud to be a husband to Jane, father to JR, and I'm running for the United States Senate because I believe we need a senator to go to Washington who's going to understand that this is Donald Trump's Republican Party and votes accordingly. Folks, we got so many issues going on in our country right now.
Singularity 82 is just crazy. That shit is hilarious. At least I'm not... I didn't say it. He did. He's right there.
The biggest ones is illegal immigration. These guys tonight won't say it. The liberal media won't say it. but we were invaded under Joe Biden. We had 20 million people come into our country.
Joe
we know nothing
Biden.
about. And as a United States Senator, I'm going to make sure every one of these
Joe
illegals goes
Biden.
back where they came from.
You know what's crazy? I hate Democrats. I'm an independent. But you're I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal. No, I'd rather have Uncle Joey back.
You see, I don't come from the political class. I didn't make my living in government like my opponents. I'm here as a businessman, as
Bring
an
Uncle Joey
outsider.
back.
I'm the son of a single mother. 19 of my family members worked in an auto plant right here in Kentucky building cars and trucks for Ford Motor Company. They would come home with grease on their hands after working double shifts, and they believed that if you're willing to work hard in this country, you can build something that matters. That's
So what do you think the immigrants are doing? How do you even think they get in America? I really do think these people just ignore all the facts, especially the fact that like all the immigrants that are in custody too don't even have a violent criminal record. The only crime they have committed was a civil crime, and that is being in America. And that's why a police officer doesn't arrest an illegal immigrant, because it's a civil crime being in America as an illegal immigrant or an alien, whatever you want to call it. It's a civil crime. That's why police don't arrest you, and it takes a different branch to arrest you. And they don't really arrest you. They're supposed to take you to court, due process, then you go home. But, you know, the Trump administration hasn't been doing that. I'm going to time this dude out. Yeah, he's just going crazy in the chat. He's just going nutsos in the chat, bro. There's no point in it. You can't argue with a Republican at all. Because then they'll just be like, nuh-uh. They'll just be like, nuh-uh. That didn't happen. Fox News didn't say it.
Creating thousands of jobs and providing free health care for every one of my employees. Folks, we know these career politicians have run a company from scratch, creating thousands of jobs and providing free health care for every one of my employees. Folks, we know these career politicians have run our country off a cliff. We got to have people that are not owned by the big banks, the special interests, and especially not Mitch McConnell. I'm so proud that I was Charlie Kirk's final endorsement before he was taken from us.
We are Charlie
Leaders with
Kirk.
spines of steel that are willing to go to Washington and hit the political
We
machine with
carry
everything
the
they've got.
flame.
And that's what I'll do. So, folks, tonight I think the decision is really clear. If you believe the American dream belongs to the people who sweat for it, not to the insiders who manipulate it, I'm here to ask for your vote. Together, I know we can put Kentucky and America first once again, and the men and women of the working class.
Be honest, I don't know what I am, but I'm definitely not a Republican. I actually swayed on the Republican side, which was crazy. My wife can literally confirm this. I was in support of Donald Trump before the 2024 election, yeah. But I didn't vote for him because I knew at the time he was on that Epstein list. Like, I knew for a fact he was on that list, so I did not vote for him. I didn't want to vote for him, but I was in support of him. My wife supported Kalama. It took me almost a few months into Trump's presidency to realize what has gone down. How bad everything just went to shit. It was crazy, dude. I don't know what propaganda I fell for, but it was just a lot of bullshit. A lot of the fact that the Democrats were in support of Israel too, and Kalama was just, supporting Israel. But for some reason, I just forgot that Trump was doing the same thing. That Trump converted to Judaism in 2016, and or what's his first presidency? He's not even a Christian president no more, and he's in a Israel influenced war. So that proves it even more now. Even later on, you're gonna hear them go, "We need to support Israel. We need to support Israel." So there's that too, and just that's not fun. That's not cool. I don't want to bomb kids in Palestine. So there's that.
Will never be forgotten.
Do you support Israel and the Jewish people? Now more than ever, Israel needs committed friends around the world.
This is a fucking
Voice of
ad.
support in her
They're listening to me, guys. They're listening to me right now. They're fucking listening to me. I feel insane, dude. Jesus Christ. Of course that comes on right as I'm talking about Israel. That's a clip.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Lindsay?
Gentlemen, we start tonight with the war in
That
Iran.
is a literal clip.
The U.S. military conflict in Iran is now in its third week. 13.
I don't understand why Americans want Palestine and Iran to gain power. I feel like I don't understand why people just start putting bullshit in my comments. You know, like I love it when people just start spewing bullshit and assuming shit in my comments, but it's great. I love it. Because I can just make you look stupid and then just say, you know how dumb you sound? You know how dumb you sound? You know, didn't Donald Trump strike Iran like 3 weeks ago? And he was like, there's no more nukes. There's no chance of them. There's none. No more chance of nukes. I hit him with my stinky diaper. I got my stinky diaper. I put it on the ship. And then it wasn't a ship, it was an airplane. I put it on the airplane and I sent it. Because it's illegal. It's an illegal war. And we're bombing children we're sending money to bomb children in Palestine. What is the point in that? Like, what the fuck? If you have to ask that question, repeat what I just said and look in the mirror. And then you'll realize, oh, maybe it's just me. I don't understand if it's a question, but sometimes people, when they ask these questions, it's like, when did I say I wanted them to gain power? Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's just the nonsensical bullshit you like to spew out of your mouth. When did I say that? I didn't. But we shouldn't be allowed to just bomb them with another country that people have been have been theorizing for years that they control us or they're controlling us in some way, shape, or form. And this doesn't look good when we're just like, Israel was going to strike first, so we had to. We just had to follow through. Even though it was them that struck first, but whatever. Us that struck first, but whatever. But, And then they're not going to gain power if we don't strike them. That's just not how life works. Same thing with Palestine. Like, there's 18,000 children that have been bombed that are just dead. That's not counting the adults. They literally committed a genocide against the Palestinian people. There's not enough people to stand up to what? That's what they were going to do. They're just going to they wanted to take them out of Palestine and then throw them in Ethiopia, is what they said. So, anyways, back to the topic on hand, the Three Stooges. I'm getting off topic.
U.S. service members have died in combat, including Technical Sergeant Ashley Pruitt and Sergeant Benjamin.
R.I.P. No matter what, respect the service members that died. I've had family members that have served in the Army. Respect them. No matter what, they had to endure, and they didn't have to be there, but respect their lives no matter what. It's a U.S. service member, R.I.P. They didn't have to die. It's Trump's fault, but R.I.P. to them. All condolences to their family.
Pennington, both from Kentucky. The latest polling shows more Americans are against the U.S. military action than support it. The president told Kentuckians last week, we've won, yet the U.S. is still engaged in the conflict. Congressman Barr, you voted against the War Powers Resolution that would have required congressional approval for future military action in Iran.
I didn't know he did that.
So at what point should Congress have a say? And do you support sending American boots on the ground in Iran? You have 2 minutes.
Well, our thoughts and prayers also go to the 13 service members, the heroes of our country, who are working with this commander-in-chief to end, not start, but end a 47-year war. Remember, this is
Obama ended that war.
an evil terrorist regime, the largest
Trump put his back in the war.
terrorism. As a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I know, all of you know, that for 47 years, this murderous regime has murdered thousands of Americans and has threatened the world with a nuclear weapon.
Guess what, though? Guess what we did? And guess what's also crazy is, Trump apparently struck their nuclear facilities and said that there was no more nuclear weapons. That wasn't even the first time. So.
And this president is ending that war. The president
Who
has
started
legal
the war.
authority as commander-in-chief to defend the country, and Congress has the power to declare war. But Congress does not have the power to prevent the president from advancing our national security. I voted against this dangerous and reckless resolution because it would have sent a dangerous signal. It would have been a gift to our adversaries. But the bottom line is the objectives are being achieved. This president, this commander-in-chief, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, our brave men and women in uniform are degrading the military capabilities of this murderous terrorist regime. The Navy, the Iranian Navy, is at the bottom of the Arabian Sea. The ballistic and drone capabilities have been degraded by 95.
He's not even talking about the bases that had been struck by Iran, but it's whatever. I mean, we're not even supposed to be in this war, but
And the nuclear infrastructure.
it's kind of why I'm dumbfounded and I can't speak, is because we're just not even supposed to be in this war. Like, the only reason we are in this war is because, like, oil and Israel. It's like the only two reasons. There's just no other reason. Epstein too, probably to get rid of the Epstein files, you know what I mean? So don't talk about it as much, but I don't like, there's no other reason. Just, I mean, even Trump said it back in like 2012 when he tweeted on Twitter. He's like, President Trump approval rating go down, he's gonna start bombing Iran.
Of this rogue regime is buried under rubble, and the American people are safer as a result. I will never, ever put the American people at risk by blocking the commander-in-chief's ability, this president's ability, to protect the American people from a nuclear weapon or from the ballistic missile or conventional capabilities. And we need to stand by our key ally, Israel. If my opponent, Nate Morris, was in charge...
You know, it used to be a conspiracy theory, right? Or it still is, that we're controlled by Israel.
Or in the Senate, his radical isolationism would work in conflict to this president's restoration of peace through strength. Thank goodness for President Trump and his willingness to protect the American people.
Mr. Congressman, just to follow up, would you support American boots on the ground, as the president has suggested?
Well, I will support this president's decision, and I have full faith and confidence that this president will make the right decision. As this president has said many times, he's not going to take any options off the table.
So he don't know. So he don't know. This is what he's gonna say. I don't know.
But he's not for nation building. He is for ending a 47-year war.
Obama ended that war. Obama ended that war. Obama ended that war. And I'm going to say it one more time. Obama ended that war.
You have 30 seconds.
Well, let's take a stock of where we were. Under Joe Biden and President Obama, you had
This is the only thing they can't even bring up Trump's being in office for these. Has it been 2 years? No, a year. Yeah, it's almost been 2 years.
No, it was a year in January.
God, it feels like a year with this shit. You know, they can't even talk about his fucking achievements. We have done this. We've done this in this year. We have done this. I voted for this. I voted for... They can't, because they don't vote for anything. They vote for bullshit and...
the disastrous evacuation from Afghanistan. President Trump is about decisive action on behalf of the American people.
47 years ago, hostage crisis. Yeah, and then it was a coup, and then it went to Bush, you know, having relations with the secretary, and then we had to go, you know, help some little dot on the map. I don't know.
Our national security. I'm grateful for President Trump and would support.
It goes for like ever. It just keeps going on. It goes to Kuwait, then it'll go to like, who's after him? It goes to W. Bush, who did a bunch of bullshit too over there, and then it goes to Obama, where he ended the war, and then Biden with all his leaving everything there, you know, leaving the keys and the attack helicopter and the AC-130. But yeah, and then we had that whole debacle, and now we're back in it.
His efforts in Iran, and also let's look at what he did with Maduro in taking out a narco-terrorist in Venezuela.
Also an illegal, very illegal thing we did. Like something we shouldn't have done, and that's very illegal. You know, I can't wait till China invades Taiwan and kidnaps their president and does that whole thing. Because since we did it, I mean, I guess they're allowed to do it
The
now.
president is on the right track, and I'm grateful for his leadership.
Mr. Morris, 30 seconds.
Actually, it's like, why do you want China to take Taiwan? I'm gonna say like how this one Patrick did say it. Why do you want China to take Taiwan? You know what I mean? Why do you want them to? It's like, it makes no
Really
sense.
simple.
It's just, why do you
I trust this
want?
president, and I trust the president because of the results that he's gotten for the American people. And I stand by him 100%. And he has been so surgical, so tactical, and the way that he's gone after all these foreign governments.
Very surgical.
And killing all those little
That's what I was gonna say. He's very surgical in bombing children and bombing schools. The Israels know how to. They taught us a thing or two, or a few things or two. You know what I mean? You know, he's very surgical in bombing school children. You know what I mean? Obama did it too, but like, Lord have mercy, Trump just said, "Press the button, press the button." Didn't even fucking waste a sweat. He just said, "Press it, press it."
And I think that we're going to get great results for the American people. And I stand by him 100%. And we got to have a senator that's willing to do that, vote with the president, and have the president's back, especially on foreign policy.
You mean bend over for the president and just let him just fucking.
Gentlemen, thank you. Carolina?
Let's get to immigration now. President Donald Trump recently fired DHS Secretary Kristi Noem in Congress. Noem faced
Because she had an affair. Not because she's a shit leader, because she had an affair with another person in there.
some criticism, including over the ICE operation in Minneapolis, which resulted in the fatal shooting of 2 U.S. citizens. Mr. Cameron, do you agree with recent immigration enforcement? And where do you draw the line between aggressive enforcement and constitutional rights?
Well,
2
let's-
minutes.
Well, let's look at where we were under Joe Biden. And when I was the attorney general, I sued Joe Biden because
Why are we going to Joe Biden? Mr. Joe
of
Biden.
his weak defense of our border on the southern border. We now have a president that has moved.
Oh yeah, I forgot the no bid contracts. I forgot about that whole thing too. Thank you for describing that fucking singularity. It is crazy that she can just launder that much, and then we just have to be like. I mean, that's not even accounting for the commercials she made. There was like that $220 million commercial she made, and that commercial cost more than movies, like hour-long movies. Like, what the fuck? Is there any supreme power over Trump by law? Where does he have the right to just go in and take? No, not right now. It's basically an authoritarian regime right now. Like, as if the House of Reps, maybe if we can get one more seat, and if we can steal the Senate elections, like in their words, then maybe we could impeach Trump. But I really don't think anything will happen. Even if we had the majority in Senate and Congress, it would take a couple years. We're gonna be fucked. So the lawsuits, all the bullshit, it's gonna fuck us a little bit. It's gonna like, take a shower. Hey, I'm gonna show that one. That was funny, actually. I do need to take a shower though. Ronald, not if the Supreme Court or the Congress won't hold him accountable to checks and balances. Yeah, they aren't checks and balancing no more. Like, that's what I said. Like, maybe if we had control of Congress and Senate, maybe they can do something, but it'd take years. It'd probably be by the time his presidency's over, once he'd be getting impeached and everything would be going on. Because you still got to think, if we impeach Donald Trump, J.D. Vance comes in. If we impeach J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio or Mike Johnson, there's a whole line. And even if we Article 25, like, we can't do that unless we have a majority, like a really big majority, and that's really not even possible. So we're stuck with this for a little bit, and then in 2028 maybe we can switch out of it. It just depends. It's going to be a whole another 2004 problem again. The market's probably going to go down, and then there's going to be another Democrat president that just sweeps in and takes everything up. It's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be like another Obama moment, because it's the same thing when Obama took office in 2004. And during that time, we were in a free fall. Everything was going downhill. Shit was dying. And then once he got into office, everything went back up. And, there was Medicare and all that bullshit. That's a whole other debacle we can go down. But it still helped people, like my wife. And it kind of helps me every now and then. I don't know. It is a hard debacle of life right now. But anyways, back to these bullshitters, because why not? I love listening to bullshit.
Forced and weak leadership of Joe Biden, and instead we have leadership that has said on many occasions that it didn't take new policy, it just took a new president. And we have historically low border crossings. In addition to that, and I've made this as plain as possible, whether it is ICE or CBP, they need to be fully funded so that they can do their job. Look, folks in neighborhoods all across this Commonwealth and this country want to be able to sleep soundly in their homes. Whether it's Tom Homan.
So we break into people's homes in the middle of the night and just steal families and, you know, kick people out of their apartments and tear through and rummage through their house and shit and kick everything over, and then that's how we make people feel safe in their home. You know, giving people, you don't even need a judicial warrant no more to search someone's home, which is a legal right to search my home. Like, you have to have a judicial warrant. You don't have a judicial warrant. And Trump was like, oh, all they need is that paper they signed. I can't, man, that voice hurts. All they need is that paper they signed. So there's that. I mean, you don't feel safe when ICE. It's crazy because if you look up the 100-mile border, whatever, like the where they're supposed to be at, you know, it's because, like, why is a ICE officer in the middle of the fucking country? Well, it's because they're allowed to, because of the border they have. Well, good night. Thank you. Subscribe. Like, there's a border around America and Alaska and all that, and it's the 100-mile border. That's what it's called. And no matter within that border, they can just do whatever the fuck they want within that border, and it's dumb and it's bullshit. They should be like Canada and Texas, you know, California, and like New Mexico, all the, you know, bordering countries. But, you know, it's just not how it works in America.
Or President Trump or others of the administration, they have said specifically that we are looking for ways in which to deport violent criminals in this country so that you don't have.
Guess what? 78% of the immigrants that have been deported don't even have a violent criminal record, or don't even have a violent crime. You want to know what's funny? Every time the Republicans, their excuses, well, being in this country as an alien is a crime. It's a civil matter. It's a civil crime. That's why a cop doesn't arrest you. Go fuck yourself.
With Lincoln Riley. That is important to me. And if I'm in the United States Senate, I'm going to stand firm with President Trump on that point. Again, whether it is CBP, ICE, let's fully fund them. And by the way, when it comes to the census of the United States, let's not count illegals in that census. Let's make sure it's for the American citizen. And in addition to that, if you are a blue city, if I'm in the United States Senate, I'm going to be voting to ban you receiving federal funding, because at the end of the day, you cannot use taxpayer dollars to flout the rules of the federal government.
So just California not send federal funding to the government. That's fine. What?
That is the type of leadership we need in the Senate, and that is what I will focus on, along with President Trump and his America First.
Did you know there's a way to become your own bank with the right life insurance?
Oh, I don't care about that ad. Hold on, I gotta pause on that one. I didn't think no one would say that. I didn't think anyone would say that bullshit. Hold on, I need a few minutes. Let's rewind that. Let's replay that one right there.
That is the type of leadership we need in the United States Senate. I'm going to be voting to ban you receiving federal funding, because at the end, make sure it's for the American citizen. And in addition to that, if you are a blue city, if I'm in the United States Senate, I'm going to be voting to ban you receiving federal funding, because at the end of the day, you cannot use taxpayer dollars to flout the.
What do you mean? I'm going to ban federal funding for blue cities. Blue cities is how America has been making money. And no Republican be like, nah, the Republicans are making us money right now because damn Donald Trump didn't in damn office right now. That's why there's damn money going on. No, California, New York, fucking any blue state is the reason why America is going to be positive. If they stop giving us federal funding, what do you think happens? They stop giving us money. Jazz music. There you go. Like, I don't even... What is going on with our seat, bro? Like, This is why I'm gonna make this into a video. I'm going to cut this down and make this into a video. But like, you can't make this shit up. Like, you literally can't make this up.
Rules of the federal government. That is the type of leadership we need in the Senate, and that is what I will focus on, along with President Trump and his America First agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Morris.
It's Israel first. Israel first, actually. Israel first.
30 seconds for your rebuttal.
Well, look, there's one candidate on this stage that's been very clear about immigration from the beginning, and that's this campaign.
I don't really understand about this whole immigration thing. Immigrants pay taxes. They pay gas tax. They pay the tax roll tax. They pay, I mean, almost every tax you pay, the immigrant probably pays more. Apart from the fact they only get $5 an hour to $7 maybe an hour. They get paid way less than you, and they're also doing the jobs that you don't want to do. They're doing farming jobs, they're doing jobs in the sewage, they're dealing with, like, the nasty jobs. How do I know? Well, probably because I know a few. And it just doesn't make sense how we're going to sit here and call them either lazy. No, I'm Mexican, I'm sorry. Technically, I'm Native American too, since I'm Mexican, but not getting into that whole debacle. It just doesn't make sense. Immigrants pay taxes. I don't understand why I fell for the whole narrative that immigrants didn't pay taxes. I had to have a family friend, Stampon, tell me, like, they pay taxes. They pay more taxes than I do. Like, what the fuck? I don't even understand why I didn't even think about it. Even if they didn't pay payroll tax, they still pay gas tax. They still pay grocery tax. They still pay fucking any tax that coffee, fucking anything that they buy, a car, they have to pay taxes on it. They can't really even drive an illegal car. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It literally doesn't. Immigration is its own problem in itself, because if an immigrant tries to go become a illegal citizen to, not worry about bullshit in America, sometimes you have to be sent back to Mexico for 10 to 5 years. I know someone who didn't want to go back for 10 years because he has a family in America. So it is, thank you, Jazz. It is really sad to see, how this whole immigration bullshit works, because you can't, you already have a family in America. You want to be legalized citizen, so you try to go in. Also, the process to even do that, like, you have to go back to where you originally started from. So let's say you move to a different state. You have to go back to, like, a whole different state to renew your citizenship and shit. It is a terrible process you have to go through. And not a lot of immigrants have the time, the patience, the language, the money to even do any of that shit. So in and of itself, immigration is its own problem. And how are you going to be, because he's going to say here in a second that we need to deport all the immigrants that came under Joe Biden's time. How are you even going to be able to know that? You know what I mean? I know immigrants that have been here since 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50 years, and they didn't come through during the Joe Biden time, but you're still going to send them back because they're immigrants. It makes no sense. And even the people that are legally getting their green card are still getting thrown in concentration camps while they're trying to walk out of court. It doesn't make sense.
Moratorium on any new immigration until we deport every single illegal that came into this country under Joe Biden.
See?
Folks, we were invaded. They've all got to go back, 100%. And we shouldn't give a dime of your...
And it's a sad truth that they think the only reason why they want to be in America is to just pillage us, or just to rape white Americans, or whatever they've been spreading, this nonsensical bullshit. That's what Donald Trump said. They come to rape and pillage, or whatever the fuck he said. It is, like, nonsensical. He called us animals. He called immigrants animals. He literally said, immigrants, don't call them animals. No, they're animals. They're animals. When, like... What the fuck? I mean, if you've ever seen one dog, like, I think, what was that one we saw, babe? Where they were coming to Mexico, it was those 3 kids.
Oh, I forget what that was called. It's from several years ago.
It was a YouTube documentary. It's on YouTube, and you can watch it. It was 3 kids coming to America through the train roads. And it's an old documentary, but it shows, like, how the struggle of immigrants coming in America. That in it itself, the fact that you have to pay coyotes, sometimes the coyotes would just kill you and be like, oh, they died coming through the desert. You know what I mean? There's so much bullshit that you have to go through to become an immigrant. Not alone, like, there's still Chinese, Russian, European, other immigrants, not just Mexicans.
Your taxpayer money to any illegal. There are people on this stage, like Andy Barr, that have let illegals run wild into our country, naturalized them, and given them all kinds of opportunities that should have gone to American citizens.
Thank you, Congressman.
What?
There's
30
only one
seconds.
candidate on this stage who's actually supported taxpayer funding of illegal immigrants, and it's Mr. Morris. Look, I know that a tragedy is terrible, but
This is exactly what I wanted to say, Ronald Clark. It is a scary time to be in. I can go back and look when Obama was running for office, and they weren't shitting on each other. They weren't doing all this bullshit. I don't know what's going on anymore, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Where are the liberals when it comes to Lincoln Riley? That's a tragedy as well. And there was a reason.
Oh man, the one. R.I.P. to. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to make it sound like that, but the one thing there when there's many of like there's how many crimes do American citizens commit compared to illegal immigrants? You know what I mean? It is just like they take these one instances and then they publicize them and brutalize it. It doesn't make sense. You know, the one time an immigrant went crazy. Yes, there's going to be crazy immigrants. Yes, there's going to be cartel members probably in those immigrants. Yes, there's probably going to be trafficked children that have drugs inside them in there. But at the same time, in and itself is terrible. You know what I mean? The kids need help. The trafficked individuals need help. Exactly. Young people never really had a chance. And that is the truth.
Why there was a federal presence in Minneapolis, because illegal immigrants were ripping off the American taxpayer, and these liberals were.
They're not. They're just not. They're paying taxes. They're literally paying. Immigrants are paying taxes, and no one can disprove that. Even if you're like, oh, they don't pay the payroll tax. Even if they're not paying a payroll tax, like you can prove it. They're not paying a payroll tax. They're still paying gas tax. They're still paying grocery tax. They're still paying any tax you pay for. They got to pay for it too.
Getting in the way and creating danger for everybody. I have tripled ICE funding, and I've supported the toughest border security in history because we need to protect the American people first.
Congressman, thank you. Gilbert?
Border security, I mean, I don't disagree with border security too, because you obviously want a strong, you know what I mean, security wall, whatever bullshit. You don't want bad people coming in, bad people going out. But at the same time, there has to be a better way of letting the good people in and letting the bad people out. Because it has been over 30 to 40 years of this shit system we've had. You know what I mean? It is a terrible system. You know what I mean? The system is so bad that I can't. I've explained it earlier, but I could explain it again. There's no point. You're going to get sent back to Mexico even if you're going to go within your own, you know, whether you like it or not. You're going to go back to Mexico. So regardless of what situation, maybe fixing the immigration problem in and of itself, maybe a reform on that, but that's a whole different conversation and a whole different situation anyways.
Carolina, thank you. Gentlemen, let's turn the conversation to affordability. Groceries, health insurance premiums, utility bills, they are all on the rise, and gas prices started soaring with the start of the U.S. military conflict in Iran. So, Mr. Morris, for a Kentucky family, what specifically and realistically are you going to do to make things more affordable? 2 minutes.
Well, first and foremost, President Trump has shown us that
Sorry, I love how they're like, what are you going to do to solve the hunger crisis? 60 seconds. I just love that.
we send job creators to Washington, D.C., they get great results for this country. The folks on this stage, they've never created a single job. I took $10,000, I built one of the largest waste management companies in the United States, and I did it all from scratch and provided free health care for every one of my employees. Folks, we got to have people going to Washington that are outsiders, business people that are going to look through the lens of, is this helping create jobs or not? And I think it's really clear. President Trump's demonstrated that over and over again. And I look at the great work that this president's done with our economy. We see the fantastic results of the tariffs. They've been great for Kentucky. Just last year, we had a $2.5 billion investment.
I'm just going to stop it right there. The tariffs have been great, guys. Ignore everything you've been reading about farmers, you know, having to sell their farms and small businesses having to close down shops or raise prices, or the gas prices raising, or the fact that you go to the grocery store and $200 groceries is now $400 groceries, or just that bullshit. Tariffs have helped. Tariffs. There you go. That's all I got. That's all I got. Donald Trump just screaming tariffs over and over again.
From Apple because of this tariffs. These tariffs protect the American workers. They protect American wages.
You know how much? You know where those $2.5 billion are coming from? American money. It's coming from American people paying for the product in America. You know that, right?
And they stop these foreign countries that have been ripping us off for far too long for taking advantage of our people. But folks, we've also got to cut the fat in Washington.
Yeah, I do believe that, especially in like California and shit. Gas will probably go up pretty crazy, and if you have a truck, I'll literally pray for you. That probably would switch a lot of Republican votes over. Is once they can't pay for their trucks no more, their lifted trucks, since it's gonna be like $10 a gallon, and diesel's gonna be like $50 a gallon.
So proud that Elon Musk has endorsed our campaign.
Oh yeah, because Elon Musk is a good person. The person that's in the Epstein files and that wanted to meet Epstein on his island. That's who I want to endorse me. I want the endorsement from the Epstein man himself. Give me that endorsement. What the fuck, dude?
Our campaign. We've got to go with the mindset of Doge, what they were able to achieve. Get the fat.
The mindset of Doge. What did Doge do? Nothing. But cut taxes for billionaires. Create debt for Americans. And actually bullshit. Nothing. They literally did nothing. We found a person stealing Social Security that was 268 years old. I really don't even believe that at this point.
Get the waste out of government. We saw all those dollars that were going overseas that should have gone to Americans and American
They're not going to Americans though. Like all that money is going to billionaires. You know that, right? It's like billionaires getting all the money from the tariffs because they can just raise prices and then just fuck you over.
To make sure that we hold people accountable in Washington, D.C., especially the bureaucracy when it comes to your tax dollars. And finally, I think immigration, again, colors this affordability debate. Folks, we got so many illegals on our rolls. We got so many illegal folks that are taking advantage of our healthcare system, our education.
I swear, I feel like people are just being brain dead on purpose. Illegal immigrants can't get healthcare. It's crazy, isn't it? But they have it in their mind, in their fucking brains, that a fucking immigrant can go up to a Medicare office or to some fucking anywhere and just get free healthcare in blue cities. They have not provided, not one senator has provided evidence in that situation. Not one person has ever provided evidence that an immigrant can get healthcare, free healthcare. Also, at the same time, what is wrong with an immigrant getting free healthcare? Nothing. I don't see a problem with it. What's wrong with Americans getting free healthcare? What's wrong with that? Oh, who's gonna pay for it? I just send my money to fucking Israel instead.
They're congesting our roads. They're overrunning our hospitals. But most importantly, they are undercutting the wages of the American worker. And one of the great
Donald Trump literally is the reason why 30 hospitals in Kentucky are closing. The Save America Act or bill, whatever the trash bill that he put into fucking Senate and the House of Reps, literally will close 30 to 20 hospitals in Kentucky, and that's because of Donald Trump. And Social Security is on, like, I don't know about it. That's a whole different fucking debacle, but that's even running out. And they don't care about all that. The Republicans don't care about it. Trump ran on the whole Social Security, affordability, no new wars, what else? What else did he lie about what else did he say that he lied about? Releasing the Epstein files. You know, I could fucking keep going, dude. Lord have mercy.
Great ways to deal with affordability is to get all of the illegals out of our country so we can give those opportunities to American citizens.
Most American people won't work the jobs immigrants are working. They're working hard farm jobs, farming labor, sewer management, jobs that white Americans don't want to work because they're better than that, apparently. This has happened many times before. This was a problem last time when they were talking about when they started deporting immigrants last time. There was no jobs. Farmers are looking for immigrants for cheap labor. Literally, cheap labor is why immigrants is why they're so appealing. You don't have to, if you have a bunch of immigrants, you don't have to have OSHA and all that bullshit. You can just pay them under the table. And they still have to pay, they still pay the taxes too. And a white American isn't going to be working out in the heat for tobacco or farming or whatever. The tobacco industry is dead over here. So I did, that's why it used to be tobacco when I was working with immigrants, but not no more.
And make sure they got the opportunity that they've earned.
People, poorest in the home. I don't understand. I really do hope we can flip the seat, and I really do believe that the seat is going to be flipped. Vote Charles Booker. Vote Charles Booker, please. Look, you know what I mean? Go and get Hale Rogers out of... Get them all out. Well, Thomas Massey, I guess you can stay. There's no way you get him out. I don't really care. I just don't understand why they have to bend over for Trump so much. Even though they're shitting on him. Like, Thomas Massey will get shit on by Trump, and Randy Paul... Is it Randy Paul? Rand Paul will get shit on by Trump. Yeah, like, what president even says that? Like, what president says, you know who did do that? You know who did do that? Hitler. Hitler did that. Hitler went up to Poland. He took Poland. And you know what he did next? He kept going. He took Poland. And he went to France. Or no, I know it was first Poland. I know he took Poland first, and they were like, don't take any more. Don't take any more countries. And then he started taking them. Putin did it too. Yeah, you're right. Putin did it too, since he just invaded Ukraine. So
Go to Americans and not illegals that are invading our country. Thank you.
Congressman Barr, 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Well,
illegals that are invading our country, there are a small group of illegal. You know what I mean? There's not that many illegals here in America. You know that, right? I honestly, I really think they thought it was just like a sea of immigrants flooding America, and there's 10 immigrants to every one American. That's not true. That's just not true. It's like it's rare to find an immigrant. Like, what are they on about? It's like when they're doing the whole trans bathroom debacle. It's like, if they're weird from to begin with, they're gonna be weird anyways. No matter if they're a boy, girl, boy. Like, if they're a weird pedophile, they're gonna be a weird pedophile, whether they're trans or gay or whatever they are. Even people in their own bathrooms have been weird. I've had people do weird shit in my bathroom, and I had to like threaten to fight them and shit, because it's just weird. You know what I mean? Or like the teenager shit where they'll throw wet toilet paper in your fucking thing. It's just, you know what I mean? You've experienced weird shit in the public bathroom, public restroom, no matter what. So it's just, it's a weird debacle they go down.
I like to talk, I like to act. And I've been working with this president to promote affordability and lower the cost of living through tax cuts. Americans are going to receive a huge refund this year, through regulatory relief to lower the cost of business so they can pass that down to their workers, and through energy dominant strategies, supply of capital, supply of housing. And I'm working with this administration right now on a regulatory change to roll back a Biden-era regulation to lower homeowner premiums. I've worked with the Kentucky Farm Bureau on that. I'm actually doing the job.
Okay. The bullshit that's been, I mean, honestly, I can't believe anything a Republican even says nowadays, because the amount of lies they spew.
Mr. Cameron, 30 seconds for a response.
Well, Joe Biden's economic policy was a disaster for this country. I mean, part of the reason that President Trump won election is because of the economic uncertainty that was brought upon by Joe Biden. What we see now in the big, beautiful bill is coming to fruition for a lot of Americans.
The big beautiful bill, the one that closed 30, that's about to close 30 hospitals in fucking Kentucky because it cuts a lot of fucking Medicare because they're not going to be able to receive money because people won't have Medicare.
Tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. That is
None of those came true, by the way, and the no tax on overtime and no tax on tips bullshit won't be till next year, which probably won't even happen. That probably won't even that's probably not even gonna happen. Like, what the fuck?
moving us in the right direction when it comes to affordability and being able to put food on the table and put more money in your pocket. I support that wholeheartedly, and the America First.
See how he
agenda as
started
well.
there? He doesn't support it.
Gentlemen, thank you. Lindsay?
The president has said that the country should move on from the Epstein files. But Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massey and Senator Rand Paul have pushed for wider disclosure. And Congressman James Comer is leading the House Oversight Committee's continuing investigation. Mr. Cameron, do you agree with the president that it's time to move on?
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You really shouldn't be. I don't believe you should. I believe you should just be retired. You've done your time, buddy. You've done your time. You should just sit down and relax for the rest of your
Do you
life.
agree with the lawmakers from Kentucky that the investigation should continue? You have 2 minutes.
Well, look, I actually think that this administration has been doing a good job of getting the information out to the people.
We're just gonna stop it right there. What?
Lifetime.
Do I need to just show you the amount of fucking the amount of black boxes over the Epstein files? Like, even when they let the congressmen and Senate men and women go look at the Epstein files, one, it was only 4 computers in a small room. 2, they were keeping track of the people's search history. Pam Bondi had people's search history, and that's apparently not illegal, you know. What the fuck is going on?
Obviously, there are redactions that were necessary related to those files, and the Department of Justice has been undertaking that important work to ensure that the victims' identities are not published. That is really critical. And so
They released victims' names because they're shit at their job. What the fuck is this dude talking
I
about?
appreciate what the Department of Justice has done on this front. When it comes to the Epstein files more broadly, transparency is good. We need to hold people accountable if they were harming women or doing things that were criminal conduct.
So why are you still supporting Trump? Why you still bending over for Trump? And why is Nate Morris's fucking cock deep throating Elon Musk right now?
That's simply the case that we need to address in not only the Epstein files, but perhaps with.
As much as I agree with you, I really don't know how much that is true if the House and the Senate will be taken over. But it'll take a while. But we are going to be under so many lawsuits and so much court and shit that I hope it doesn't kill our country. You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't kill the country, the amount of bullshit that stems from this. You know what I mean? Because the amount of lawsuits, jail, prison, federal prison, and all the bullshit that they have to go through, all the judges, and then they're going to be appealing all the way to the Supreme Court. I don't know how it's going to be. And also, even if they get rid of Trump, then J.D. Vance is in it, and then they got to get rid of J.D. Vance, and it's Mike Johnson, and if they get rid of Mike Johnson and Michael Rubio, then there's so much bullshit we have fucked ourselves over with. You know, the hope is you pray and vote Democrats, and we'll see what happens. I'm just looking at the reality of the situation. I really don't know what will happen. Maybe all of them will get held accountable. And everything that I said that I thought was going to happen won't happen. You know what I mean? Pray to God about it. I hope God will bless us all. Or if you don't believe in God, pray to Lady Luck. do something. You know, your three knocks on the wood. Thank you. Subscribe, like if you like to. Whatever you would like to do, because I would love for us to come together, even if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent. I would love for us all to come together and realize that collectively we need to just vote Democrat and just relax. Which a lot of Republicans have been doing that, especially now. Look at Texas. So I'm really hoping Kentucky. Maybe if I keep doing these shows political wise, I could really spread the message across Kentucky to vote Charles Booker, vote the Democrat Charles Booker, please. May 19th. And then November 3rd is the general. May 19th is the primary.
Criminal charges as well. So I support the release of the Epstein files because of accountability. This is really important to the victims of these alleged crimes. I trust the administration to make sure that information gets out there and certainly recognize the importance of accountability on this front.
Mr. Morris, your response, you have 30 seconds.
Look, I think President Trump was very clear from the beginning. He said, we're going to make all this stuff public and we're going to let it come to light and it'll be judged and prosecuted accordingly. And that's what's happened. So I stand by the president. He did exactly what he said he was going to do related to this. And I think as Republican.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't do anything he said he was going to do. I'm going to release all the Epstein files and everything. We're going to arrest. All the Epstein files are going to be released. Trust me. Pam Bondi literally said that I have the Epstein files on my desk and I'm going to sign them right now and release them. 3 days later, no Epstein files. Didn't even exist. What Epstein files? What are you talking about? And then a couple weeks from until Congress passed the Epstein Act, then there's Epstein files. They ran on for months that there was no Epstein files. Kash Patel lied under oath and said Epstein, he didn't traffic. He only trafficked individuals to himself. He didn't traffic any individual. What? He didn't even traffic. He was just a weirdo. It was him. It was just him. What are you talking about, dude? What are you fucking talking about, dude? Let me go party with the fucking hockey team and the USA hockey team, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
Republicans, we all need to get behind the president. We got people in this delegation that are not voting with the president, not supporting him. This is a state Trump carried by over 30 points. We got to have this president's back and continue to stand with his agenda.
Congressman Barr, 30 seconds.
I was proud to vote for full transparency with the Epstein files, and it's obviously a tragic and disgusting case, and the victims deserve justice. In my prior time in the private sector before I was a member of Congress, I proudly served as the president of Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky. As a member of Congress, I've supported, through grants and other support services, victims of domestic violence and child abuse and neglect, and I will continue to do so in the United States Senate.
I'm not gonna shit on him for that. There's just no point to shit on him for that. Like, what the hell?
Carolina?
Unless he didn't do
The
it.
seat that you are all running for is currently occupied by one of the most powerful figures in U.S. Senate history.
Mitch McConnell.
His legacy includes clearing the path.
I already know what to do, but I really like that dog. I can't really do his voice. I need to start doing it.
Securing more than $60 billion for this.
He just has that
course of his career. Mr. Morris, you have been critical of Senator McConnell. Your campaign ad includes throwing a cardboard cutout of Senator McConnell into a garbage truck. You have also called.
Hopefully they will. Kentucky will probably lock in. There's other states too. Kentucky isn't the only one, but I'm in Kentucky. I'm a hunter. I'm a fisher. I'm a Kentucky advocate. Donald Trump has literally some national forests are going to be sold to fucking lithium mining and tree mining and all that bullshit. I don't like that. It's bullshit. Donald Trump is, ever since I've seen that, and then it was a downhill spiral after that. I'm an avid hunter. I'm an avid fisher. I love to be outdoors. I was a Republican before this. I supported Donald Trump, and then I just seen what happened, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Switch sides? Not really. I was an independent, but I still kind of feel independency. I didn't even vote for the 2024 election. I could have, and I was in support of Donald Trump, and I knew he was in the Epstein files. That's why I didn't vote for him. It's like, why would I vote for a pedophile? But I would rather him vote than Kamala Harris because of the whole Israel thing. Because I thought Kamala Harris was more involved in Israel, not knowing that Donald Trump is literally just bent over for. yeah, I don't know what's up with Tennessee, but you know, a lot of people, especially Texas, they're waking up. So you know, if a lot of people wake up and realize that the shit that they're spewing out of their mouth literally makes no sense, and everything they're talking about literally makes no sense. The only thing they're saying is affordability, and you know, my daddy, President Donald Trump, made it better. Yeah, that's it. That's all they say. They don't prove it. They don't have no proof about it. They don't have anything. So I can't wait till the general election once Charles Booker says some bullshit to him. Because at this day and age, the Republican Party has really fucked themselves over, to say, because the shit that they ran on, they are not running on it no more. I mean, Donald Trump even called affordability a hoax. You know what I mean? The last time he was in Kentucky, Harold Biden, Kentucky, he was like, they don't even talk about affordability no more because I beat it. I beat affordability. I just beat it. Didn't explain how he beat it. Didn't explain anything. That people just started screaming in the background because anything Trump says is just law. And then that's why I love when every time I think of that speech, I just think of when he started screaming tariffs. I just love that. I need to watch that. Tariffs! Tariffs!
You also interned for him. How can you outperform McConnell in terms of securing investments for this state?
Well, look, I stand by my contrast with Senator McConnell 100%. You know, 20, 30 years ago, he did some great things for the state. But let's all face it, over the last 10 years, he's sold Kentucky out. He's voted continuously for amnesty. He's gotten us into situations we shouldn't be in. But most importantly, he has stabbed this president in the back over and over and over again. And the folks on this stage, the two guys standing next to me, they owe everything to Mitch. And one of the reasons why I got in this race, I said, look, if an outsider, if a business person, if I don't come in here, we're going to get a Mitch 2.0. And I believe it's very clear from the people of Kentucky. They want a clean break from what
They're all Mitch 2.0, so
we've had over the last 40 years. They don't want a Mitch 2.0.
They're all
And I
Mitch
can be
2.0.
that. And one of the other things that I think Senator McConnell has shown us, that we need term limits in this country. You know, it's a sad state to see our senator in the condition that he's in, still serving in the United States Senate. It's very reminiscent.
Something I agree with them on? Oh my God. I agree with a Republican.
Of Dianne Feinstein, we all remember that. Folks, I've said I'm going to serve 2 terms and be finished and go back to business. And that's the way
How much, if he wins, how much do you want to bet that's bullshit? He's going to serve 2 terms, and then he's going to be like, well, guys, I need to serve another term because the Democrats are going to win and take over Kentucky and kill us all and murder us.
It should be. Our founders never intended for this to be a lifetime gig like these guys are doing. So, look, I stand by that 100%. And you reference being an intern 26 years ago. You know, that was 26 years ago as a 19, 20-year-old college student. You know, Andy Barr, just a year and a half ago, called Mitch McConnell his mentor on television. Now, folks, I don't know about you all, but I don't know many 50-year-old men that still have mentors.
Yeah, John Fetterman is just something else. John Fetterman is...
I mean, at that point in life, you should be mentoring others.
He's something else.
But this is a guy who's going to be just like Mitch when he gets up there, and he said it on camera.
John Fetterman is a special.
I mean, you can go back and look at the clip. And so, folks, I think all great elections, like this election is about change. And we got to have something that's totally different. We know Mitch has not been great for the state the last 10 years. That's one of the big reasons why I'm running. And I think that's why we're going to win come May 19th, because Kentucky is ready for bold outsider leadership.
Parents, if your child plays Roblox, listen up.
If your child plays Roblox, listen up. I don't have enough money for premium, so I'm not buying that shit.
What is your specific plan to outperform Senator McConnell?
You know, I think President Trump has shown us the roadmap. When you're a business person, when you're an outsider, when you don't owe the swamp anything, you know, folks, I'm financing most of my campaign myself, spending millions of my own money. And
He had a $10 million donation from Elon Musk. What? Nate Morrison literally got a $10 million donation from Elon Musk. That's why Elon Musk endorsed him. We gotta listen to that back, guys.
Person, when you're an outsider, when you don't owe the swamp anything, you know, folks, I'm financing most of my campaign myself, spending millions of my own money.
Actually, earlier too, he was saying that he doesn't want like a Mitch McConnell 2.0, but he's literally messing with billionaires. You all right, Sophie? You all right? My fat cat tried to jump up here. She
Doing
fell.
that because I want to go and fight for the country. I want to go and fight for Kentucky. My only special interest is everybody out in this audience and everybody watching here tonight. And President Trump has shown when you're a job creator and you're a business person and you're not beholden to anybody but the people, you can get incredible results. And that's where Mitch McConnell lost his way, and that's where people like Andy Barr lose their way. They're owned by somebody else. I'm here standing in my...
Who gave him a $10 million donation? Elon Musk. He is endorsed by a billionaire.
2 feet, and I'm going to go and fight with everything I've got.
Thank you. Congressman, 30 seconds.
Well, I don't owe anything to a United States senator, but I do owe everything to my Lord and Savior, to my family, my parents, who taught me the values of hard work, perseverance,
I wonder how
compassion,
Mitch McConnell feel
and
about that.
selfless service to others, and to the people of the 6th Congressional District who have given me the privilege of a lifetime to fight for them, their families, and their futures. And as the next U.S. Senator from Kentucky, I will fight for them. Look, I've been asked a long time, are you like a Mitch McConnell Republican or Rand Paul Republican? I am neither. I am an Andy Barr Republican, and I will fight for Kentucky through and through.
Mr. Cameron, 30 seconds.
Look, my identity is in Jesus Christ. And folks that know me and see me on the campaign,
You know, if their identity was really with Jesus Christ, they would support open borders. You know, a lot of different things that they're supporting right now.
Israel know that that is a part of how I articulate the vision for this campaign. And when it comes to talking about who I'm going to be more like, not Senator Paul, not Mitch McConnell, I'm going to be Daniel Cameron. And what that means is standing up for your constitutional rights and the common sense values of the men, women, and children up.
But he's going to get rid of DEI. But he's going to get rid of something that protects your rights.
Our 120 counties. And I'm committed on day one to ensuring that your interests are heard in Washington as opposed to the special interests that always have the ear of other senators in Washington, D.C.
Thank you. Gil?
Carolina, thank you. Gentlemen, we're going to shift to workforce and labor now. The Kentucky Chamber of Commerce has listed a workforce shortage as the biggest problem facing businesses. Many industries in Kentucky, like horse racing, farming, and manufacturing, rely on immigrant labor and are concerned that shifting rules at the federal level will cause them to lose workers.
I'm going to replay that again.
Farming and manufacturing rely on immigrant labor and the biggest problem facing businesses. Many industries in Kentucky, like horse racing, farming, and manufacturing, rely on immigrant labor and...
They rely on immigrant labor, huh?
Are concerned that shifting rules at the federal level will cause them to lose workers. Congressman Barr, what specific policies would you champion to help fill jobs in Kentucky? Well, as a member of the Republican Study Committee in the U.S. Congress, I chaired a workers' task force, actually with now Speaker Mike Johnson. We came up with about 140 recommendations, and we've implemented some of them with President Trump and his leadership. And one of them in the big, beautiful bill, the reconciliation bill, is we said, finally, with respect to Medicaid, no more waste, fraud, and abuse, no more paying people to not work. And we said for able-bodied, work-capable adults, whether you're talking about food stamps or Medicaid, we want something better than government dependency. We want the dignity of work. And so instead of punishing work, we want to encourage work. And so in the Medicaid reforms that we said if you're an able-bodied, work-capable adult without dependence, then get your health care through your work. Earn an income.
I really do feel like they're just dumb. They think that as soon as you have health care, everything's fine. You don't gotta pay. You don't gotta pay money. You don't gotta do nothing. Do you know how much health care is in general for a person to? It's just nonsensical what these people are talking about. Please vote Charles Booker.
So that you can afford higher quality, better than Medicaid health insurance. In addition, we are, and I have worked routinely with the Kentucky Community Technical and College System. We need more trades. We need more electricians and plumbers. And we've worked with the home builders on encouraging more young people to go into these trades where they can become entrepreneurs. These are high-paying jobs now. But at the end of the day, border security is something that I have prioritized with this president, and I'm proud to have done so. And securing the border creates the conditions for streamlining legal immigration programs that...
They're going to shit on him for that, too, because that's the only thing that is least decent that he's saying, that he can get immigrants with legal ways to get in, I guess, and they're going to shit on him.
In some cases, like for our agriculture industry, but only for legal immigrants. And securing the border is not incompatible or mutually exclusive with the idea that we are a nation of immigrants. We're a nation of laws, and we are a nation of immigrants, and they work together as long as people come here the right way. It dishonors legal immigrants to have people cut in line. What is your specific...
You know, his parents probably came in the wrong way. Or his grandparents. Or his great-grandparents. Or his great-great-grandparents. It makes no sense. And a lot of people agree with this rhetoric because they're just racist. It's just, this is their opinions, and a lot of Americans don't want it, yes, but a lot of the racists do. And we're in Kentucky, so honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was when I was here, because it's calmed down many years. But there's some towns, man. There's some places you go.
Specific plan to do both? Well, I've got a record of securing the border. I have a A+ rating from the leading border security and immigration enforcement organization in the country, Numbers USA. I have a perfect A+ rating.
Why are they so like dependent on the border? Like we're nowhere even near the border. There's like 4 states between us. Isn't there? Tennessee, Georgia. No, that's to the right. It would be Tennessee, Texas, right? Tennessee, Texas, then the border. Right? I'm looking at my map right now, just in case. Let's see here. No, there's Tennessee, yeah, Georgia, Atlanta. We're nowhere near the border. Oh my Lord. Lord have mercy. Why are we talking about the border? Yeah, I'll pray for you, man. Tennessee's pretty bad too. It's down. Hopefully, I feel like a lot of places will start switching. A lot of people will start waking up. But it's hard to think that hopeful, but you know, all you can do is pray, and maybe people will start to wake up and realize that Trump is a pedophile, and he likes kids, and a lot of Republicans that are supporting him are in support of a pedophile.
For them. And I have also voted for streamlining our guest worker programs to make sure that the only people who are coming into this country are vetted, legal guest workers to help industries. But I will just say this. There are some on this stage who hired foreign workers and displaced American workers. We should never have our legal...
The reason why American workers are getting displaced, there's 2 reasons. One, because of the fact that immigrants, you don't have to have OSHA, all this bullshit. You don't have to have safety. You don't have to have that. You alright? You don't have to have safety with the immigrants. And 2, you don't have to pay them as much. And 3, honestly, white people don't want to do the jobs illegal immigrants are doing. It's just a proven fact. I mean, it literally was a proven fact that no one wants to go into sewers. No one wants to pick fruit, pick tobacco, deal with any of that. And that's okay. But to use that as an excuse and to be like, oh, there's no jobs, the immigrants are taking the jobs. No. Immigrants are doing the jobs that you don't want to do. And if you're desperate, then do it. But there's also people who are older too who can't do the jobs, who are door greeters at Walmart or something like that. And they're trying to get rid of DEI so you won't even be able to get a job at Walmart or wherever you want to be at, because they're going to get rid of the fucking thing that's protecting you from getting the job. These are the three stooges. Fucking Nate Morrison, Daniel Cameron, and Andy Barr. They're supporting nonsensical politics and bullshit that hurts the Kentucky people. Please vote Charles Booker. We'll go back to this shit. Like, God.
Immigration programs in this country operate so as to displace American workers, and that's exactly what Mr. Morse did with his company. Thank you, Congressman. Mr. Cameron, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
Well, the big thing that I think we can do in light of AI technologies that are coming online in some of these data centers is we need to generate more coal and natural gas to fuel these factories. That would produce...
That's what we need, is more coal and natural gas, guys.
Jobs. And what we also need to focus on is what I refer to...
Charles Booker, Amy McGrath, and Logan something. I forgot his name. A lot of people were upset about Logan not being able to speak in a debate. But, yeah, those are the top three, I think, was Logan, Amy McGrath, and Charles Booker. Charles Booker's going to win the primary, obviously. I'm voting Charles Booker. Calm down. Tennessee has some... let me actually look up. Tennessee has stuff. Has at least the local elections going on or something. Vote Democrat, dude. Please. Vote and spread the word. No matter what, spread the word to vote Democrats. Whether you're in Kentucky or not, please vote Democrats, because Tennessee is on the ballot. Yeah, Tennessee. I don't know who is going. I think it's 2 Reds right now, but please vote Democrat.
Is the economic agenda of this White House. $2.5 billion in Harrodsburg, Kentucky at the Corning Glass facility. That's going to bring more jobs. $2 billion here in Louisville when it comes to the Ford plant. That's securing 2,200 jobs. I'm going to support that endeavor.
I had to be sure to do that.
Fully.
Mr. Cameron, thank you. Mr. Morris, 30 seconds for a response.
Stop.
Andy Barr has a nickname in Washington. They call him Amnesty Andy for a reason. He's never met an illegal immigrant that he doesn't want to bring into our country and take the job for an American worker. This is a guy who voted to natural...
Marshall Blackburn? Is that a Republican? I don't really know the Republican or the Democrats in, running for Tennessee.
That's 2 million illegals into our country. Can you believe that? Absolutely crazy. This is a guy who's left the border wide open since the moment he got to Congress, and he's doing it because he's owned by the big banks.
That doesn't make sense. Like, how do you keep the borders open? I'd hate to be a defender of Andy Barr, but how are you even gonna keep the borders open? Like, how does Andy Barr stop that from happening? He's a congressman. We're like 5 states away from Mexico. My cats are going crazy. I didn't know Marshall Black. Actually, I think I've heard about her. I've watched a couple videos and I've heard her. I don't know. What's the Democrat most likely to win the primary there? I don't remember what his name was. I remember the video said she was probably going to win, though.
They want the cheap labor, folks, and he's willing to give them as many illegals as they will take your jobs.
I think I'm entitled to a rebuttal on that. The bills that I have supported were supported by President Trump. They were the toughest border security bills in American history. Both of the bills... We're not going to let you guys talk over each other. I'm going to give you 30 seconds and then you 30 seconds. Both of the bills that Mr. Morris is talking about are bills that President Trump endorsed. And when those bills failed in the first Trump term, I was the leader in court. I led the fight in court to defend the president's legal authority to build the wall using defense appropriations. The only person who supports foreign workers replacing Americans is Mr. Morris, who hired them to replace American workers, foreign workers, and he embraced a UN proposal to open our borders to illegal immigrants.
That's not true.
Nuh-uh.
That was his corporate
Nuh-uh.
position. And by the way, he
Nuh-uh.
put the
That's
mayor
not
of
true.
Philadelphia
Wait,
on
do I
his
get a chance to
board.
respond?
1 second, gentlemen.
I think they have, and I'll go over the Democrat debates. I mean, I'll be honest, I'll shit on them too. I love them. Like, I'm gonna vote Democrat, but I'll shit on both of them. But Charles Booker actually posted something which I really do support. He said that anyone that is take AIPAC money is real money. He doesn't like, and honestly, I thought he took AIPAC money, but apparently he hasn't. So that's, I mean, I'm even in more support of Charles Booker, even that he said that. So it's crazy.
A sanctuary city, and he put a mayor of a sanctuary city on his board.
That's why Charles Booker is just on top.
Thank you, Congressman. Mr. Morris, you have 30 seconds. A buzzer will go off at 30 seconds, and your mic will be cut off.
Folks, how do you know when a career politician is lying? They're moving their lips. This is a guy who lies with every breath that he takes. This is a guy that continues to let so many illegals into our country, millions and millions of illegals. Folks, he said that we owe Afghani nationals, we owe it to them, and allowing them to come to our country. And we all saw the tragedy over Thanksgiving. It was because of the Afghani immigrants that were unvetted that he led into our country that caused that tragedy over Thanksgiving.
That was the Trump administration that did that. The Trump administration unvetted them. That's why I just freaked out right there. The Trump administration did that.
Andy, you got blood on your hands,
I
and it's so
have to
sad to hear and listen to you lie about
Thank
your
you,
record.
gentlemen. You've gotten your time.
I have
We're
to
going to
respond to
press pause here. We're going to let
That's false.
cooler heads prevail. We're going to take a station break right now. Please stay with us. You are watching Kentucky's first U.S. Senate debate.
Donald Trump unvetted that dude, that Afghani dude. That was Donald Trump's agent. That was under Donald Trump. Donald Trump did it. What Nate Morrison was talking about there. Like, or he didn't do it specifically. He may haven't, but his people did that. That was weird that he said that. That's why I freaked out. That's why I was like, why would you even say that? What's going on with this bullshit? This is interesting. That's why I'm watching this. I'll see what the Democrats are like. They should have had theirs already, because there was a big thing with the Democrats that it wasn't Nate Morrison, what the hell? It was Logan, the other, I forgot his last name, but his first name's Logan, and he was running, and he wasn't allowed in the debate or whatever, and people were making a big fuss about it. I don't know why, but I just know it was the thing that was happening, that they did, that they wanted Booker to respond about. But I guess it's only Charles Booker and Amy McGrath, which Charles Booker's just leading in the polls. So I'm voting him. I don't really give a fuck. I'd rather vote him, and then I feel like it might be him, maybe Daniel Cameron or Nate Morris, or maybe Andy Barr too. Andy Barr might win. It's just really close right now.
Welcome back. You are watching Kentucky's first U.S.
Gentlemen, our next series of questions, we're going to ask you to respond to your harshest critics. And we pick back up with Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris, your critics call you a woke, fake conservative, trying to buy your way into the U.S. Senate. In 2019, your company, Rubicon, sent out a press release touting that you signed a pledge supporting DEI. Also, your super PAC received a $10 million donation from world's richest man, Elon Musk.
You know ball knowledge, dude. You know fucking ball knowledge. That's who you need to watch. That's who you need to watch right there. Keep watching him, actually. You know fucking ball knowledge. That's actual media right there. Midas Touch, Legal AF, what else was the other one? There's a couple other ones there's that British dude, Harry Sission and all them. They're really good. They're as much as people shit on them. They actually report on some of the truth most of the time, and they're not biased. They'll report on it.
Will big donors
The enforcer.
influence your decisions if you are elected to the Senate? And why has your public stance on DEI changed? You have 2 minutes.
Well, first and foremost, let me say this. DEI is an absolute scam and should be eradicated.
Damn, we're starting strong.
society, period, and business. And let me tell you, when you build a company from scratch, I started my business with $10,000 on a credit card. I built it in the waste management industry, probably the toughest industry in the world, the Tony Soprano industry. Look, you learn a lot of lessons, and I saw firsthand how the woke mob, they'll come after you. And there's so many corporate leaders all over the country. We remember 20...
DEI helps disabled people, older people, trans, sexual orientation, religion, race, get jobs. So they're trying to get rid of that. Keep in mind.
2019, 2020, all the hysteria that was going on. And one of the things that I'm so proud of is I said no mask mandates, no COVID mandates in my company. And I said I refuse to give a cent to organizations like BLM. And I refuse to say hashtag BLM to Marxist terrorist organization like Black Lives Matter. Folks, there's not a lot of CEOs in the country that would be willing to stand up like that and lose shareholders or lose...
I wouldn't even say that. That's some crazy shit to say. That's wild. That's wild. But like, BLM has controversy and everything. But like, Black Lives do matter. You know what I mean? All lives matter. So that's just crazy. That's just a crazy thing to even say. Like, what the fuck?
We did it. And I'm proud of my corporate record. I'm proud of the company that I started right here from scratch.
That was just
And
wild.
folks, I'm the only job creator that's on stage. You know, how do I know that I'm going to represent the people? Look, I don't know anybody anything. I'm standing here on my own 2 feet. I'm not standing here because Mitch McConnell's propping me up or PACs are propping me up.
He got a $10 million donation from Elon Musk. How many times do I have to fucking say this, dude? And an endorsement from Elon Musk. What is he fucking talking about? That dude's a billionaire. What the fuck is he on about?
Lobbyists are packing me up like Andy Barr. I mean, this guy's been in Congress for almost 2 decades. He owes everything to the swamp. Folks, we've seen that President Trump has shown us that we need outsiders, business leaders. And let me remind you, the attacks...
I think they labeled Donald Trump as a wanted national terrorist or something. I don't know. I really don't know. They're trying to get rid of NATO. Honestly, I really don't know what the whole our shit internationally is pretty fucked up right now. So the only people we have is like, I think Japan, and that's because they put a communist, not a communist. Well, I think she is like a fascist or something. No, not a fascist. What am I talking about? Lord have mercy on my soul. I think it's the only one we have strengthened the relationship with is Japan. That's usual, and not really. I think it's still like iffy. We really are. It's going downhill. I can't even describe it. That's how bad it is. Like I could at least, like at least a few months ago, I was like, hey, it's 50-50. You know what I mean? They hate us. They don't like us. But we still trade. But now it's like Canada doesn't even like us. Yeah, and Russia. Yeah, Russia is in love. They're fucking kissing. If I have that picture of Donald Trump and Putin kissing, that's literally what's going on with them. They're just making out.
That my opponents are putting on me. These are the same attacks that they came after our president for. We remember the days in 2016 when they were nitpicking everything about his business, but what he showed is his success in business translated.
You know how many times Donald Trump has bankrupted a company? Nitpicking, dude, he's like bankrupt. Like I think he's went over bankruptcy like 20 times, in like casinos, hotels, and all that bullshit. Like he's been bankrupt, maybe not 20 times, 10 maybe, but he's been bankrupt like more than once. I know he's been bankrupt more than once, and it's been proven. Like you can look it up. It is. What are we talking about here? Donald Trump has been bankrupt more than once. His first, I'd say this: his first term, nothing happened. Other than COVID. So you couldn't really do much, couldn't really say much. Now that it is a normal, like it's kind of a normal, we're in a normal kind of thing, not really. People have seen that Donald Trump is just shit. His approval rating is downhill. It is proven. I mean, it's a fact that his approval rating's downhill. I mean, polls don't even want to release new polls anymore because how bad it is. I'm pretty sure there's a 29% in there. Like that one dude said, what was his name? He's a pod. I don't know. He wears a suit.
And I'm going to make
His
sure
like
that
silver
we get the
hair. He's a
woke
Fox
out
fan.
of business once and for all. That's why the first thing that I did when I got out of my company is I invested in Vivek Ramaswamy's Strive Enterprises to beat back woke capitalism, fight it on Wall Street and Main Street, and I'll continue to do that in the United States Senate.
Oh,
So,
they're
Mr.
doing
Morris,
the.
if you call DEI a scam now.
Fuck these people. Look at this. This is in South Korea right now. They got some kind of rainbow thing going on there. That's cool shit. South Korea, they have like some kind of rainbow water shower thing going on. You could drive over that. That's cool. Hold on, I gotta go show that real quick. That's cool as hell. Like a rainbow. People are driving on that bridge too. That's actually cool. What the hell? That's in South Korea. Is it Seoul? I think so. Ow, my back. Don't worry about the mess. It's cats. That's what I blame it on.
Why did you sign the pledge in 2019?
Look, I think it's really simple. You know, the people that are making those criticisms, they've never had a job in the private sector. They've never had pressures from shareholders, board members. Look, one of the things that I did is I fought wokeism in my company from the very beginning, saying we're not going to do these things. We're not going to have a COVID mandate. We're not going to have a mask mandate. And I stand by that record. And I think the people around me speak for itself. You know, Donald Trump Jr. went on the record and said, I'm one of the greatest warriors to fight against the woke agenda in this country. And, you know,
Still see the
either
reflection in the
somebody
background.
else's line or Don Jr.'s line. And I don't think it's Don.
Yeah, and JFK was the only president and kissed the wall. JFK forever. That is my favorite president.
Jr.
Thank you. Congressman Barr, you have 30 seconds.
Well, I remember when Nate Morris was lecturing at me about how I should stop my fight against ESG and DEI when he was a CEO embracing BLM riots and signing the DEI pledge and signing the Paris Climate Accord.
Damn.
But look, on this Afghan relocation effort, my position is the same as the president. We
Look at that
supported
rainbow.
extracting and evacuating our commandos and interpreters
He's gay,
who
look.
helped fight terrorists with our soldiers and our military. But I voted against Joe Biden in September 2021.
Joe
I voted
Biden.
against Joe Biden's mass amnesty plan that
Joe
had
Biden.
no vetting of those Afghans. The only person on the stage who supported that plan was Nate Morris. When he was a corporate CEO, he signed the UN pledge that would have allowed all of these Afghans in unvetted.
And by
That
the way,
was
this
his
guy used
position.
to send out press
That
releases
was his
Gentlemen,
position.
I'm going to hold
saying
you
what a great
there.
businessman I was and taking thousands and thousands of my money.
He's
for his
cheesing.
campaign.
Mr.
And now
Cameron,
he
you have
changes
30
it,
seconds.
and I'm challenging his power.
Well, look, we know President Trump, and Nate Morris is no President Trump. I mean, at the end of the day, Nate Morris supported DEI. President Trump never supported DEI. Nate Morris supported Nikki Haley. President Trump certainly never supported Nikki Haley. He actually ran against Nikki Haley. When protesters were on my front lawn,
That's all they are. They're trying to get the. And I really thought that Trump's approval rating is so far down, so I really thought they would kind of stem away from that. But I mean, the MAGA base is still strongish here. I guess the cult is big. I mean, it's a big cult, man. So that's what they've been doing. We're almost done with this thing, thankfully, and then I'll take a peek if they had. I don't know if the Democrat is yet. I think they may have not done theirs.
threatening to burn my house down, those same BLM protesters, he was actually embracing in an open letter to the public. So there is a striking difference between myself and Congressman Barr and Nate Morris. And Nate Morris is certainly no Donald Trump.
And you will never be a United States Senator.
Gentlemen, thank you. Carolina.
Damn,
Gentlemen,
dude.
staying on the topic of some of the harshest
These dudes are
criticism
just
that we're
fucking
facing.
shitting on each other.
Congress-
They're just shitting on each other. That's just so sad. I know, it's just sad. They're just shitting on each other. That's terrible.
Barr, you are running a campaign ad in which you
This is actually perfect, though, for the Democrat Party, so.
say, quote, "It's not a sin to be white," end quote, regarding DEI policy. Well-known Kentucky political commentator Al Cross said, "You are running the, quote, most overtly racist statewide campaign we can remember in Kentucky, end quote. What specifically are you trying to say to Kentuckians of all backgrounds, including communities of
Holy
color?
Well,
shit.
here's what I'm trying to say. I do believe that DEI is dumb, evil indoctrination because I think it's wrong for an elementary school child to go to school and come home and ask and be forced to ask his or her parents, is it wrong for me to have the color of my skin? That's what DEI does, indoctrinating our kids.
What? When does it ever do that? It just, no one ever, they don't pull you into an office and they're like, you're white, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're poor, you're white. All right, go back to school. They don't do that. Like, what is he talking about? It's for like poor black kids, even poor white kids, disabled white kids are able to use DEI. It's like people don't know about this. I really don't understand. I really hope there's Republicans that have used there are Republicans that use DEI every day. Actually, it's crazy. You know what I mean? And they sit here and they talk like this. So, and they'll still vote for this. They'll still vote for this to own the liberals.
With this propaganda. It's also wrong for an activist liberal judge in Jefferson County to reject the recommendation of a prosecutor and law enforcement and cut in half the recommended sentence of someone because of their race, because of someone who raped and kidnapped a victim with no remorse, and then reduced the sentence in half just because of the race.
Okay, so let's talk about the white kid who was a teenager who raped and beat 2 teenage girls, and he was white, and they just let him go. They didn't do anything about it. They just let him go. What about that? America, most racist country, second only to Russia. That's why I left 14 years ago. Couldn't stand it. Hey man, I'm stuck here, and I'm stuck here in the state they're running for. That's why I'm doing this fucking stream, because what the fuck am I watching, dude? This is gonna be cut down to a video later. Like and subscribe. This is sad. I mean, they're over here fighting each other over which one's gonna suck which one's gonna suck Trump off faster, and bullshit. I mean, they're spitting nonsense policies. They're not even making sense, to be honest. He's just bringing up single incidents, like single parts of what an immigrant killing a woman, or God forbid it happens, and RIP to those people. I don't say it's bad. And also it is bad. You know what I mean? Also, some of those people are repeat offenders too. Like those people, most of those people were repeat offenders. They're like people that shouldn't have been let out, but the policies that have been enacted are weird, so they just let them out, and it is kind of stupid, some of the shit that goes on in this world. But he's just that's why I mentioned that one teenage boy that beat 2 teenage girls to the brink of death and then raped them. It's like that shit happens every day with U.S. Americans. I mean, hell, Donald Trump was like in the Epstein files. So I don't understand what the fuck or what is going on. They can look at evidence, literal evidence of Donald Trump with a child, and they'll be like, that's just AI, and it's proven it's not, and they'll still be like, well, I mean, it's Donald Trump, so he can do whatever he wants, basically. I mean, even Donald Trump said it. I could shoot a person down in 5th Avenue and still have voters. On stage. What the fuck?
That is evil. It is also evil indoctrination for a trash company CEO to force his employees to go to white privilege retraining classes. That is evil. That's what I mean. And what I mean is we ought to, in this country, embrace the great traditions of Martin Luther King, who said it's about the content of your character, not the color of your skin. And I have been a leader in the Congress fighting back against these environmental social governance
So what about the immigrants with good characters and been here for 20 years and been working and pay taxes, pay bills, have a family, that are U.S. citizens, is trying to get documentation, that can't get documentations because he's going to get sent back to Mexico for 10 years and has to serve that time out and then come back into America to become a legal U.S. citizen. These people are going in fucking circles. The Republican Party is a fucking dog or a cat chasing its own fucking tail. It's just sitting there like just a stupid ass dog. Just
Mr. Morris lectured me that I shouldn't be fighting when I was leading the fight. And also, I have voted over and over and over again, whether it's in the military, government institutions, fighting DEI programs that discriminate against Americans based on immutable characteristics. That's wrong, and the American people and the people of Kentucky can always count on me to fight against racism, to fight against a culture of discrimination based on character.
But he wants to get rid of DEI. I can literally scroll this back to when they were talking about the woke BLM bullshit. What are they talking about, dude? They're spinning in fucking circles. It's literally a fucking Beyblade. You're sitting right here and just letting it rip every fucking time. They're not making sense. I understand why you don't watch news anymore. I don't watch news either. Like, I watch YouTube news. I watch like Midas Touch and all that shit. And then I have to go on, local news to see this bullshit. Especially even on the Democrat side. But Jesus, like, how much bullshit can you spew before someone realizes you're talking shit out of your mouth? You know what I mean? Like, you're just sitting there. I don't know.
Characteristics that shouldn't matter in a colorblind society.
Thank you. Mr. Cameron, 30 seconds.
Well, look, me and Mackenzie are raising our 3 boys, and we want to see a society that is based on merit and opportunity and not diversity, equity, and inclusion. We want that.
So get rid of DEI. So you're just gonna get rid of DEI too.
Because of those 3 boys.
He literally said that he wants, instead of DEI, it should be MEI, merit, integrity, and intellect. What are we like? What are we talking about anymore? You know what I mean? Like, what are we fucking doing?
That,
what are we fucking doing?
Know without a shadow of a doubt that they are image bearers of Jesus Christ. And that is our focus. And that is why I think I have a unique perspective on this. We shouldn't be focused, as Congressman Barr mentioned, on folks' color, but the content of their character.
Thank you. Mr. Morris, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Andy Barr is not telling you, that he took your tax dollars and he created a chief diversity officer position in the Pentagon. This is what he voted to do.
I didn't.
It's on the record. You can go look it up. Everybody at home.
I didn't.
This guy's a complete hypocrite.
Nuh-uh.
Every breath he's taking, he's lying, just like the career politicians do. Folks, that's why we got to have outsiders. We got to have business people to be able to fight this nonsense once and for all, not career politicians who are speaking out of both sides of their mouth.
Thank you. Gil?
Carolina, thank you. Mr. Cameron, I want to talk about electability. In 2023, you lost the governor's race to Andy Beshear by 5 points, even with the backing of President Donald Trump. You carried many rural communities, but lost in the state's largest cities. So what went wrong in that campaign? And specifically, what are you doing different this time around to win votes? And why hasn't President Trump supported you or endorsed any of your challengers?
You want to know why? It's the same thing happening in fucking Texas. Pretty sure Charles Booker is more up in the polls than they're fucking putting out. I looked it up and they put Andy Barr 11 points above Charles Booker. Hopefully in this May 19th general, primary, it proves it more than likely, because I've been seeing on especially Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter that usually Charles Booker is getting more of the likes. I think maybe on Twitter he's not, but Facebook, yeah, I know it was going on earlier. On Facebook, clearly a lot of people are in support of Charles Booker and a lot of the Democrat Party. So I'm hoping maybe people wake up in Kentucky, or people are waking up in Kentucky. It's seeming so since fucking Daniel Cameron, Nate Morris, and Andy Barr are in a kind of like tie-ish area. They're all like 28-29%. Or no, 38 to 39%. I think it was like, or 20 for Nate. And Charles Booker already has a 30% gain on Democrats, and that's not even like I'm an independent technically, so I just registered as a Democrat this year so I could vote for the Democrat primary and then vote for the general election, which obviously I'm voting Charles and then Charles again. Hopefully those two pull through, but I'm thinking a lot of more people are waking up. I'm talking to a lot more of my friends. If you live in Kentucky, please wake up to the fact that, you know what I mean, supporting pedophiles in Congress right now. There's legit pedophiles in Congress right now. Motherfucker, and there's nothing you can really do right now unless you vote Democrat. I mean, and there's some Democrats that are obviously AIPAC supporters, and there's weird shit about that, but that's more on later on. Hopefully we can, as the younger generation comes out, I would like to be one. Maybe politicians more step up from the younger generation.
I think President Trump wants to see a candidate, or we possibly can, across this Commonwealth. I think President Trump wants to see a candidate earn this nomination, and whether it's by polling or by getting out to as many places as we possibly can across this Commonwealth, I'm certain that I'm going to be the nominee come May 19th. I feel it instinctively when I talk to people all across Kentucky. When it comes to the governor's race, look, there are people out here in this audience that supported me and Mackenzie as we mounted that campaign. We felt very confident that we were going to win. Unfortunately, we had low turnout on that day. And what I took from that race is that you got to meet people where they are, that you got to build coalitions to get folks to the polls. That's why I'm so proud of the grassroots efforts that we've undertaken, bringing people into our tent, whether they're in the liberty or establishment lane, or they're center right or strongly conservative. All these folks can find a home within Team Cameron. Let me just say this. At the end of the day, you're right. I am asking the voter for a second chance. We serve a God of second chances, and I firmly believe that if I'm the nominee, we are going to win in November. But all of us here on this stage this night believe in second chances. Congressman Navarre asked for a second chance when he first lost to Ben Chandler, and he got that second opportunity. Nate Morris had a company in Rubicon that was delisted from the stock exchange, and now he's asking you for an opportunity to serve in the United States Senate. So we all believe in second chances. I would be honored to have your help and support, and I commit to you tonight that if I am the nominee, we will win in November.
Damn Snake.
Mr. Cameron, with respect,
Damn Snake. He's a good talker. I'd say he's out of all of them, Daniel Cameron's the best talker out of all of them. I could see why maybe Daniel Cameron and Andy Barr would probably go to a runoff. I'd see them probably going to a runoff, and then that'd be really good for the Democrat Party if they could go to a runoff, and then it would be like a jungle election.
You know him and Matt Bevin worked together, right? When Bevin was in office.
Oh, he was the attorney general for Matt Bevin. Yeah. I didn't know that. And Matt Bevin's getting called in court right now, so there's that.
Coalitions. Tell us what specific coalitions you're building in the state's largest cities: Louisville, Lexington, Frankfort, Northern Kentucky, that will change the outcome in this election as you see it.
Well, look, we're building grassroots coalitions.
Here's the worst of the worst, though. Cameron is pretty bad. Damn good Snake, though. He's a good talker.
In the last campaign, we're listening to every person. People have got my cell phone number. They're calling me directly. We've got a small team, but it is a lean and mean.
It's like you want to believe him, but you know he's not telling the truth.
Medley or Nathaniel Hurd in our team.
It's like, oh, I wish he was telling the truth, but you're not. You're bullshitting.
All across Kentucky,
you're just bullshitting.
Very strongly. And when it comes to May 19th, we're going to win that, and then ultimately win in November. Because, look, you've heard a lot of back and forth and bickering on this stage tonight, but I'm focused on the issues that you care about at home. Whether it is lowering your taxes to put more money in your pocket, or ensuring that health care costs go down, or standing firm for our law enforcement community. That's what I know you care about at home.
Mr. Cameron, thank you. Mr. Morris, 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
Look, I think the riskiest thing that we can do as a party is nominate a career politician. You know, we've seen that with the last governor's race. And I think
thank God this shit's almost done.
They want outsiders. They want business people.
Thank you,
God.
God.
They want people that have created actual jobs. And they want people in the mold of President Trump. This is a state, again, that Trump dominated. And I think the risky thing that we can do is send a career politician. And instead, we need to send a business person and somebody that's an outsider, and someone's going to stand with Trump.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Congressman Barr, 30 seconds.
Well, Nate Morris campaigning on being a fighter against DEI is like Joe Biden campaigning on his youth and vitality. It's absurd. The reality is,
People are
I
laughing.
have fought DEI in the Pentagon every step
People
of
are
the way.
laughing in
You
the
can look at
background.
my
That's
record. I
funny.
voted for amendment after amendment after amendment. Did I vote to fund our troops? Yes, I did, because our negotiators did a good job. But look, there's a reason why President Trump calls me a warrior, and I've been with him all the way because I've won. I'm a proven winner in the only swing district in Kentucky. Nancy Pelosi's money has not been able to defeat me in the swing district in the state. I will win this election in the fall.
Gentlemen, thank you. Lindsay.
All right, we thank you for the spirited conversation. As we wrap things up tonight, we want to give each of you 2 minutes to deliver your closing remarks, and we start with Congressman Barr.
Oh, I got 6 more minutes left
Well,
of
thank
this.
you to the two news stations for hosting us tonight. And look, this campaign comes down to a basic question. Do we take a chance, or do we nominate a proven conservative winner? I have been with President Trump the whole time. And we flipped a seat in central Kentucky, like I said, a swing district, the only swing district in the state. It was a Democrat-held seat, and I flipped the seat, and I've held it ever since. And when Nancy Pelosi and her allies spent millions of dollars to try to flip it back, President Trump and I won the seat, and we've proven that we can hold it and deliver on this America First agenda ever since. My opponents, in contrast, would risk the seat. Mr. Cameron was nominated, and he was even endorsed by President Trump in the governor's race, and he lost that seat to a Democrat in a state that Mr. Trump won by 30 points. Mr. Morris is even a greater risk because he is running in a statistical tie with Charles Booker right now, the Mamdani of Kentucky, a radical socialist.
Charles Booker.
He cannot afford to lose this seat and deliver a Democrat majority to take down this president's agenda. I served as the chairman of President Trump's campaign in 2024. I was the first
Charles
member
Booker.
of the delegation to endorse him. I will be his biggest champion in the Senate. I will be a champion for Kentucky in the Senate as well. And don't take my word for it. Take President Trump's word for it when he said
Yeah, how
that
much
I
they
am
wanna
with
suck
him all
Trump's
the
dick.
way, and that I am a warrior for his cause. If you nominate me, we will win. You owe it to your philosophy to win. We will win for Kentucky, and we will continue to make America great again. Thank you very much.
Mr. Cameron, your final thoughts?
Well, look, it has been an honor to be here tonight amongst these gentlemen. What I think you saw tonight was a display of two candidates, Congressman Barr and Mr. Morris, who were attacking each other and more focused on personal grievances as opposed to what you care about. You care about your kids and your grandkids. You care about ensuring that they have every opportunity.
That's why you need to get rid of
be the
DEI.
best and brightest version of themselves. That's what I am focused on in this campaign. How do we put more money in your pocket? How do we make sure that when it comes to the challenges that exist, whether it is Iran or more closely at home, ensuring that folks have jobs and resources to get from A to B when traveling.
Yeah,
across
it
the
might be a
state.
runoff election
I wanna
between Daniel
focus
Cameron
on those
and
things, because that
Andy
is
Barr.
what you care about. When I was your attorney general, I stood firmly behind you. I stood firmly for your constitutional rights and our common sense values. And whether it was having protesters on our front lawn and having them yell, "Burn our house down," I did the courageous thing and stood up for our law enforcement community. That's why I'm so proud to have so many law enforcement officials who have endorsed this campaign, over 100 of them. It's why I feel very strongly that when it comes to the drug epidemic and a porous southern border and securing that border, I understand it because I sued the Biden administration. I saw the pain that was occurring here in the state, and I did something to address it and brought nearly $900 million into the state to do so. I am focused on you. It'd be an honor to serve your interests and your values in Washington and serve the people of Kentucky as opposed to the millionaires and billionaires that have bought my two other compadres in this race. I'd be grateful for your help. God bless you. God bless the United States.
Thank you, Mr. Cameron. Mr. Morris, your final thoughts. 2 minutes.
Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you tonight, to be on stage with these folks. And I think the fault lines in this race are really clear. We've got two career politicians that are in this race. Folks, they're in it for the title. They're in it for the prestige. They're in it because they need a job. They need the paycheck. And these are the same failed career politicians we've been sending for so long to Washington. President Trump showed us that we need outsiders. We need business people. We need people that are willing to take on the swamp with everything that they've got. That's why I'm in this race. That's why I'm running. That's why I'm here to fight. Folks, we got so many issues that are animating our country right now. One of the biggest ones is term limits. We've got to have term limits. The guys on this stage would never agree to that. I said I'm going to serve 2 terms, serve my time, serve you, and come home. We also have to make sure that gun control is not shoved down our throat by weak so-called Republicans. Constitution's very clear. Shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. Folks, we all see the economic damage of trade policy by career politicians right here in Kentucky. It was people like my family that got hurt by NAFTA, that saw their job go overseas. That's why President Trump's tariffs are a great thing for our economy. They're a great thing for our country. They're leveling the playing field and stopping these foreign countries from ripping us off. Finally, folks, we got to take care of our own. We should not give a cent to an illegal immigrant. And we have to make sure every one of these illegals that invaded us under Joe Biden, they go back where they came from.
How will you know?
So tonight, I'm asking you, join Elon Musk, join Charlie Kirk, join the MAGA movement.
We are Charlie
Together,
Kirk.
we can put Kentucky first again. We can put America first. And we can send an outsider and be a clean break from the last 40 years of what we've had of failed leadership. I ask you for your vote. Thank you so much. Good evening.
All right, Congressman Barr, Mr. Cameron, Mr.
I sat through an hour of that. Holy shit. Thank you guys for watching this. I'm going to be cutting this up into a video later on. If you want to watch this, please like and subscribe for that later on. Thank you for seeing this. I might see if the Democrats have posted anything, and I'll probably do a video actually on them, maybe, or not. I'll go live again. I like to be live instead of just do a video. It doesn't feel as real to the people. Also, the fact is, they're just lying snakes, and I could literally prove everything they're saying live. That's how dumb they are. It's just stupid. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.